are live. All right. Share that. Let's get to Top Step open. Wait for some people to get on. I'm gonna start doing some pre-market stuff. Beautiful from yesterday. Hit off on that 53 as I expected, even went up higher. So that's nice. Alrighty. It's gonna be a super tight range. The high of yesterday was that 1500. A lot of times when the high is pretty much the close, I like to put the close there. So we'll see. What's the close? 43.52.75. I set the latency a little lower today, so hopefully it's a little bit better with the timing. All right. The low of the day is there. The high of the day was the close, so I usually use the previous structure instead. Not an exact science here. We did get worse than expected unemployment numbers, so we do have a potential for something like that. Oh damn, I moved the wrong one. That's annoying. Let's delete that line. Don't need it. Overnight high, overnight low. With those numbers and how extended up we are, could we see a little bit of a pullback? Maybe. We also could not, and we could shoot through all-time highs because that's what markets do, whatever they want. Alrighty. So we do have a level still above us here. 43.67. Could probably even take it to 67, 69, 70. See what happens with that on the open. Market's open in 5 minutes about. Let's do my NASDAQ here. Overnight high. Overnight low. That previous day close at? $83,250. What's going on, everybody? Still doing a little bit of the level drawing. It's hard to move around quick in the morning. Tried to make a cup of coffee. Jumping around, hobbling. Not as easy as it seems. Although that is the previous day low, I'm going to use that pre-market low as my previous day low. because I have this zone here. Oop. Previous day high was there. From there. Overnight low. Overnight high. All right. So we are set up for the day. All-time highs are pretty high up there. Again, with the NASDAQ, seems like it's going to open probably right around the close, so there's not really a gap to fill there. It's been flat all night. Like I said, even with the news of worse than expected unemployment numbers, we're still going to open pretty much both of these right at the previous day close. So that strategy there, waiting for it to come back to that, probably not going to be a viable one here. So we're going to need to break one of these levels, either the overnight high or the overnight low, and see where we can take the price. I'll check my other ones. Netflix had shitty earnings, but they did have decent outlook, so we'll see what happens with this. This I don't have. That's till 2022, so it has time to jump. Naked was up. Nvidia is up. I don't have any Nvidia. Shopify still running like crazy. Square. If I were to be doing any options plays today, I use this scanner, pre-market scanner, see what's moving. Some of these are the movers for the day. Pre-market. Doesn't really change. Decided that it didn't want to. Our market's going to open in 30 seconds, so we'll see what happens. I did resize my little face in the right corner. I looked back at some of the video from yesterday and I noticed that I was covering up a portion of this chart here. So I apologize for that, because there were portions where I should have explained better and you couldn't really see it. So I shrank myself down. You don't really need to see me in my lucky cowboy hat. And there's the opening bell. We'll see what happens. We got a little bit of movement already. Little pop above that previous day close, and then down. Anybody here that has seen my other videos or whatever, my strategy is not to trade that opening 5-minute candle. I like to let these futures markets pick a direction before I start deciding what I want to do with them. You know, I don't want to catch something. A lot of times it'll flip in one way, and then the next 5 minutes it'll bounce around. So I'm very patient. Sometimes, I mean, I say I don't want to use that candle, but at the end of the candle, if I see where it's going to close, then I'll maybe hop in on something. But usually with these kind of flat markets, there's no reason to jump in. Coffee time. Alrighty, let's see what we have here. NASDAQ is pushing above the VWAP, trying to push up C to the overnight high. If we could break the overnight high on the NASDAQ, there's a chance it'll run. But it's super consolidated. Like I said, overnight was flat. Yesterday we did run up. Overnight was flat, super flat, like didn't do anything. Stayed pretty range bound. And now, right now, we are pushing up. I have doubts that it's going to stay this strong. It probably will push up to that overnight high and look to come back down. I foresee, but I could be wrong. I'm going to go to the 30-minute real quick. Oh, the hourly is good too. See where we're at with levels above us. It potentially could get to that 14,925.75. The 900 level is a nice round number. Markets love round numbers, so it could come up there, reject a bit. So we'll see. There might be a little upside this way, but fundamentally a little bit with those numbers this morning. Markets haven't been too happy when the unemployment numbers do what they did today. I should have lowered the volume on that, my bad. So you are getting that little bit of a rejection, the pullback, not really a rejection. I mean, it's not doing much. S&Ps are stuck, still in that first candle, right at that previous day close. So as a trader for yourself, you got to ask yourself, like, why would you want to get in on this? There's no reason to be. People want to make money super quick, run in, run out, catch that first move. Why would you want to do that? This candle didn't provide you any information that you didn't know, It went up to the VWAP, rejected it, and pushed back down. It is helping me with maybe a future move, but to get in on that, it's going to whip you around and get you out. So there's no reason. All right, so still it's pretty flat, right? Yesterday on the open, you had a little tiny bit of a move, and then like I explained yesterday, nobody was not sure if you were here or not or whatever. As far as when it's grinding around like this, it tends to just kind of pick a direction and then slowly continue that way. There was nothing that drove this to do anything besides grind up a little bit. It picked the direction, it went up, and it tried to close out some of the losses that it took from a couple days ago. So same on the S&Ps, right? There was nothing that stopped this from just kind of grinding higher. So we're going to look to see what kind of direction it picks today, and then we will make our hypothesis and figure out which way we want to take it. I stuck with the cowboy hat again because yesterday it was decent luck, so we'll stick with it. New York Cowboy. That's what I like to say. It was good luck. It was also, again, the closest hat, and with the broken ankle, I don't feel like hobbling around the house to go find another hat, so I'm a hat guy. So we do have this this candle here. I don't take a lot of these indicators as the holy grail of, hey, I should get in or anything like that. But a lot of times, when I said yesterday and in other videos that this white candle here starts to indicate that momentum is shifting from one direction to another. So honestly, it doesn't matter if it was a red candle or a green candle. It usually reverses whatever the trend was. So honestly, it could have been saying that, hey, it's reversing off this green candle to push lower again. So I'm not going to use that as a sign, but it's something that helps me, my decision making a bit. Yesterday was a gap open, so I don't know if it does start to sell off a bit with those unemployment numbers. Will it want to come back down to yesterday, close this gap? Could. We'll see. I don't think there's enough volatility going on right now. The value area is from 43.05 to 43.82, and the point of control is 43.41. Right here, 43.41, and that's congruent with yesterday's, so that could be a decent downside target. I'm going to look for that. They're also diverging a bit. like I was talking about yesterday again, with some of the strategies that I like to look for on the futures markets, is a lot of times they like to move together, right? So if you have this running up here, the Nasdaq is pushing up to the overnight high. It's not pushing through it, and the S&Ps are pushing down, right? One of these is going to end up leading and seeing which way the market actually wants to go. And a lot of times the other one will follow. Yesterday, the Nasdaq was lagging a bit behind, so it could have been just trying to fill up some orders here at the overnight high and then look to take short. But we're going to see what the Nasdaq does. I mean, the S&P does at my little gray zone here. If this does roll over and pushes through that overnight low, you could see it come back down into that gray box, because it's just, that zone was pretty solid yesterday. That was the open, the close from the day before, and then during the session I took a couple trades off of it. Same on the S&Ps. 43.42 yesterday was a pretty solid level, so that was where I ended up having my stops. Let's see what happens over here. Close. Alrighty. I do have a feeling that this Nasdaq is just going to kind of reject that overnight high. I just don't think that the unemployment news was good enough to help it push it higher, and there is a little bit of downside room. This is just going to reject it. So like, these levels are very consistent. Price will keep coming back to them and touching them. If we're going to stay range bound today, I'm not going to take it on that first little touch of that level, because I'm not really certain if it's going to want to continue its downside momentum, or if it's going to, just fill up these orders from the overnight and then push back higher. So I need to see something that's going to tell me a little bit further if I should take a trade or not. All right, it is pulling back off of that that value zone that I have there. I think the only way I'll take this along is if it breaks above that previous day close and then sits on top of it a bit. But I don't see that being the case at the moment. So my short position would be if it accepts into my little value zone and then starts to sell off. A long position plan would be above the VWAP, above the previous day close, a break and a retest of that. And then as far as the Nasdaq is concerned, like I thought, it was going to kind of lag, reject the overnight high. Probably could take it down to the VWAP. I'm not looking to catch that 1 point on it. 2 points, whatever it is. It's actually not that bad of a trade, but it still needs to pick a direction. Not convinced. Because it did break this sort of down channel here, so that's what that explosive move was. It built up some orders. It sucked some orders up, got down to that overnight low, filled all those orders again. So, but if pushed out of a little wedge pattern here, from what I'm seeing, might want to come back down to that VWAP if it is going to stay long. So we'll see. It might not. It might just break the overnight high, and then we'll kind of look to take a long off of a break and a retest of that. Hopefully we can catch an entry a little bit earlier than we did yesterday. Yesterday I waited a little bit, taught us a lot about patience. I did end up hitting my targets for the day, but I didn't take full big profits. It was a nice little grind of a day. I was one tick away from getting stopped out, and then ended up pushing up higher. So it's nice to get your stops right every once in a while. we go, NASDAQ pushed above, so I might take that long off of that. And just want it to come back down and hold that overnight high though. S&P is looking like they want to follow as well. So like I said, the plan would be wait till it breaks above that previous close and that VWAP. It's going to be pretty much exactly the same level. And if the NASDAQ wants to take the lead but pulls back a bit and sits on the overnight high, then I would like to potentially take that. Like I said, with this account, I'm only going to be taking one of the trades, one contract here. The account size is not huge on this, but I might have a top step evaluation trying to get funded on that. So I could take a couple more contracts on that. So I might take both that NASDAQ trade and the S&P trade. But I need this to pull back. I'm going to zoom this a bit. That squeeze indicator, like I said, it's not a end-all be-all, but it is starting to push up into that like light blue positive territory here. It's just showing me a little bit more momentum, right? That's all it is. I would like this to hold, but I would like to see another candle push down and hold above that overnight high. Because yesterday we did take that S&P. The S&P trade above this overnight high hold, and then I didn't place my stops quick. If you did watch, because I did fear the manipulation stop hunting that they do a bit. So if I did take this right on a pullback and it came down in here, I would expect that even to come back down after sitting on this level for a bit, even down into here, take out a few stops, suck up a few orders, and then run to the upside again. So if you do see me take that trade and not immediately place my stop right below and tighten it up, that's why. Because I do see time and time again when my entry is good and things happen and they end up manipulating it a little bit, flipping it underneath structure levels and then running it back up. So we are getting that pullback a little bit. I would like to see it pull back a little more, maybe next candle in 10 seconds. The S&P here, I'll pull this one up. I've been having a lot more consistent success on the S&P. It's a bit smoother. So I like to take the S&P trades on this account. So you saw here it went above and it held, but it's still kind of just sitting right there. So I'm going to look actually to get in on that. As it did come down, tickle that previous day low, close, I'm sorry. To me, that's a decent entry. If I could take it to the overnight high, I'm going to take it. So let's do that. We'll take it to the overnight high. Alrighty. I'll take that first little bit of drawdown for a bit. I'll let it breathe, and then I will decide if I am wrong or if I'm right, and then I will either keep it open or close it. But I think we could get it to that overnight high. Potentially we could, though, also just sell right off because of that unemployment news, but it seems like it wasn't unaffected by it.
Order filled.
That order filled noise is my top step, so you will know if I'm in and out. The NASDAQ is pulling down to that overnight high. If I could get it to hold there and not close below that overnight high, I will try and take that as well on the other account, though. 14,870. This here is a resistance level, so it could possibly even come back down into there. See how quickly this runs up and down. I'm not too concerned about it. I probably should have waited a half second more, get a better entry on it, but I'm not worried about that. The value area high here today at the moment is 43.57. Above us we have up to that 57, which seems pretty consistent. Could even take it to the high there at 63 if it does want to run up a bit. where's that resistance level at? 53. Sorry, not 53, 50 flat. Actually, want this to sit up there a little bit more. Probably should have waited a second. I think the NASDAQ is actually going to reject that level at that point. There. I said that for 870 level. That's going to be the main resistance. If it does break below that, I'm going to maybe look to even have it come down a bit further, but I think it's going to keep kind of sitting there for a little bit. Early entry, pretty big drawdown at the point of entry. Should have waited one more candle to see probably if it was going to hold above that previous day close, but it did on that candle close there. Tried to get in a little earlier, so it is what it is. We'll see what happens. Patience. I'm going to try and watch this a bit harder. Does pull down to the base of that. So I'll know I'm wrong when I think that my short position, that would have been a positive short position, comes into play here. I still think that box here is a solid resistance level. If it does accept into there, though, I'm going to close this and get out. So. Where were we? We'll go to those 30-minute candles. Still pushing up. We never even finished closing above this high here, so there's a chance it'll probably even run up a little bit to there. I'll take that. I'd be happy with that. 65. If it rejects this base here. If not, we close it and we look to see if there's a short to be had, because if it does break this resistance, for me, it's got that downside momentum. Like I was saying yesterday, you kind of gotta stomach drawdowns in this game a bit. You don't want to hold things that, for too long that you for sure are wrong with. But I mean, that's a very strong candle to the downside, still pushing down. Not huge volume though, so could it just be one more push down to the overnight low? That would have been a nice little get, obviously. Daily loss. Gotta wait one more candle. See, that was just a little bit too early. Sometimes you just wait. Patience is key in this game. No amount that's going to make or break me, but I'm going to get a stop loss down here just in case it does decide to melt off. 41. So stop here. I don't want to take a catastrophic loss. If it does decide that it wants to have a huge sell-off right now, there's still a bullish sentiment here. I think we can recover these losses a bit But this overnight low is really the key point. Decision making time. If that NASDAQ continues to reject the VWAP here, it might take the lead a bit. They did break below that initial resistance at 870, so all right, we're in this one, so we're gonna keep watching this one. Still no music. Still don't want to get pulled off if YouTube doesn't like copyright stuff. I don't know how it works. I gotta still look into it. I don't think it's gonna be a huge issue to have some music on here while I'm live streaming, but I also don't want to make it an issue. Shouldn't make trades before you have your cup of coffee. A whole nother pot brewed. It's too far away.
Stop filled.
Alrighty. So we are accepting back into that zone. It is what it is here. One more time. If it does close, I will close this and move on. So like I said, my top stops are a little tighter than this account. I could accept a little more risk in this one. And it seems like it's rejecting that level again there. It didn't accept into the gray box, which is good. So, but we'll see what this candle does totally. Whoa, that's not right. There we go. Just keeps rejecting that low, and now it's kind of starting to get stronger down. That's a solid push down. I just want to see what this candle says here. 30-minute candle still, so it seems like it is indicating a bit of a reversal from this green candle here, so I'm gonna just keep an eye on this a little longer. Yeah, if it pushes into that gray box and holds, we will get out. But this, like I said again, it could be just eating up orders from overnight and taking that bad news and flipping it around on people, which I think it's possibly doing actually. NASDAQ is pushing back up again. It just doesn't want to hold. All right. I do like that NASDAQ there. Let's see what these sectors are doing. Market watch. Indices. So that NASDAQ is actually, a lot of these companies are green on the day. Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia. Some of these smaller ones are not as green. So NASDAQ is going to be a bit stronger. The S&P 500 got a lot of, it looks like the banking sector is a bit red. Telecommunications, Verizon, Disney are not. They're pretty red here. So we'll see. Maybe they'll flip around on us. Oop. Still just sitting on that level there. Doesn't want to accept, so it does tell me that there are some buyers still there. Oh, let's see what this says. Oh, dropping my phone. Butterfingers. See if the lucky hat has another play in it today. So, like you saw in the sectors with this chart here, the market watch chart, a lot of the S&Ps are coming in red. The Nasdaq, more of it is green on the day so far. We'll see what some of these things are doing. Let's see if AMD. Let's go with AMD. Oh. AMD is starting to push up a bit on the day. It's like kind of neutral. So that was one of the borderline down here. It's like not red but not green. I just want to see what that's doing a bit to see if the index wants to push up at all. Squeeze, little squeeze thing, showing us a little bit of red downside momentum, but it's not a green dot, which means it's not like a convincing move according to that little thing. So we'll see what it does. Like I said, I set the stop below here just in case it decides to just have a hard sell-off and keep me in the game for tomorrow. So that's what that's all about. But I'm not, like I said, not keeping it super tight, and I will be accepting some drawdown. I don't hate it right now, and I think I'll try one more shot at taking it long off of here.
Order filled
On the top step, because I don't think it's going to hold this low. I think it's going to push up. That's my thesis today. I think it's just trying to fake people out, pull people in, and then take it long again. So I don't know if you are watching and you can kind of understand my thought process of why I didn't just close it out, because it went into the box, right? Acceptance into a zone to me is important. You want things to get and hold these levels. If it just comes in here and then wicks out like this doji type candle here, that's showing me that there's no reason that it wants to keep pushing down. There's a ton of buyers down here. Yes, it did push in, and the reason the zone is here is because there are orders sitting here. So I didn't close it because I didn't think it was ready to accept and push below. If it stayed in here and closed down here and then another candle sat in here, then maybe yes, we can close it and get out. But right now that's not the case. So that's my thought process on to close or not to close. So if you were questioning, hey, why didn't you close it? You said you were going to close it. If it went in there, yes and no. I just kind of get a feel for what the candles are doing at the time that they're doing them, right? Nasdaq is pushing up higher, breaking above that high, overnight high, and holding now. I did want to take that entry off the VWAP. I did not, but it's okay. I think it still has that room, like we said. And the 30-minute candles here. 14,900, 14,927 would be a nice little upside. My gosh, choppiness. Sorry. Gotta zoom out a bit for it to catch. Okay, here we go. So you can see it pulled back to that VWAP and then people bought off of it. I preferred to have taken it, but I did not. So missed opportunity there. Same thing here. It's pushed up to the VWAP and then sold off of it. So we're going to kind of see which direction it wants to really go. Hopefully that the NASDAQ is leading the way today, and it'll follow it. I did bring a bottle of water today, so can drink that. Yes, my entry was not ideal. However, if it does do what I hypothesize, then it's not a problem. If we take a loss, it's also not a problem. We could always just look to get another entry, a better entry. These yellow lines, right, they're showing a bit of a slowdown in downside momentum. If you're looking at this, the blue lines are an increase in momentum. The darker blue lines are a decrease in momentum on the downside. The red is an increased momentum to the downside, and the yellow is a decreased momentum to the downside. So on the S&Ps, you right now are decreasing your momentum to the downside at a support level. It rejected a few times. Could it be looking to reverse back up? We will see. Like I said, this is a waiting game. It's just a matter of waiting, seeing what's going to happen, and putting your orders on the right side. Okay. NASDAQ is coming back down a bit, but I think it still should hold that 14,880 level. If you do have any questions about where I got my cowboy hat, or how I decide levels on a chart, or anything like that, shoot it over. I'll answer it as quickly as I can if I'm paying attention or not looking at a chart. If you have questions about anything else, any other markets, if you want me to look at Forex charts or have any analysis on any stocks or anything like that. So we did just close after the 9:05. 9 o'clock, like I was saying yesterday, and on other videos, a lot of times that hourly candle, the half-hour candle, you'll get a little bit more bouncing around. Just tends to do it. Round numbers in the markets seem to be important levels. Like on the charts, they're important levels. In time, they're important levels. So a lot of things just play into it. Still kind of just sitting down here at the bottom, but the NASDAQ is not. So I'm hoping that this divergence on these two is something to watch. NASDAQ still green for the most part due to Microsoft and Apple, Adobe and Zoom, the S&P 500. A lot of these are red. So Apple and Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Nvidia, green. Verizon's starting to turn green. Oh, sorry. Visa is starting to turn green. Verizon is starting to come back a bit, so we'll see if that can help us out. AT&T was down, I think, on it. It was actually up pre-market, so maybe there's some play there. But a lot of these things are helping. They start mixed. Existing home sales. Let's see what that says. Still pushing down. Come on. Change your mind, how about? Push back up. Home sales actual down 5.86 million. Forecast was 5.9 million. Better than forecast, still bad. That could be a positive, but doesn't seem like it. Now we might be pushing down, accepting below, so we'll see. Let's see what it's going to do right here. Oil demand. I don't think the jobless claims is going to affect it too much. It didn't initially. It did. I mean, a little bit, I guess. On the news, it did sell off a bit. We recovered that right on the open anyway. Still can't break through that overnight low and hold. So although the Nasdaq is pushing down below the overnight high again. And it's holding it. So I might take an order on Nasdaq to go long a bit. But I need to see a little bit more of a pullback on it again. At 14,880 level on the Nasdaq. Now that I've moved my face off of the chart, you could see it. Sorry about yesterday. So you can see here now, right? This is not blocking it. My cowboy hat was too big for the screen, covering up some of the charts. Had to cut it down a bit today. 880 for the Nasdaq is that key level. Need the S&Ps to decide to push above the VWAP and above that previous day close before I could start looking to see if this is going to go long again. I'm super patient when it comes to my trading strategy here. Not that I hold losers, but I hold my positions until I feel that I'm wrong. Because a lot of times I'll cut my loss right here. Say I cut it here before, yeah, great, I lost 200, 275, but I missed out on my upside opportunity because my hypothesis and my thesis of the way it would break out was correct, but I just kind of panicked out and cut myself out. Have I done that a lot? Yes. Am I trying not to do that more often? Yes, because some of these unrealized losses, you're down to 37, try to make another trade, you're down again. I don't like to do that. Like I said, with the Top Step, I did trail it out. There are a lot of rules with them, so I try to follow their rules pretty tight. I don't want to have problems there.
Order filled.
That's my Nasdaq trade. I took it on the pullback there a little bit. I just wanted to probably wait a half second more. It's okay. This VWAP is super important, so we'll see what it does at this level again. We could possibly see another pullback down. There are orders here somewhere at the 43.56 level. If we could push through there, it seems like there are some orders there. If I can get above that, we're going to be a happy camper, all right? The wife. Hello. Live streaming. Good. All right. La 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 la. See, trader psychology. It always happens. It'll get to certain levels and sell orders. They just sit there. I don't know who tells people to do things, but they do it, and they keep doing it over and over and over again. So we are above the VWAP, which is nice, and above the previous day close. So my thought on catching that bottom would have been nice as far as a rejection and waiting for that, but I didn't. So we held. So instead of taking two trades, right? Oh, I took my loss down here. Bang! I'm taking my run back up. Yes, that's good and great. However, and that's commissions, right? So every trade you take, it's a commission. Is it going to reject again? Possibly, and push back down. But for my thought, as far as that's concerned, is you take one trade, you hold it a little bit longer, and you only pay the one commission, and you weather the storm until you're wrong, and then you get out, and then you look for your next trade until you're right or wrong, you get out, and it's just mechanical. You got to just keep doing it, and the more consistent you do it, and the better you're going to be, right? Consistency in this is is the most key. And I think, I mean, live streaming, yes, it's cool. I help you a bit, or you get to see what it's all about. It also keeps me honest, right? I have to do things the way I say I'm going to do them. Otherwise, I look like a hypocrite, right? So you kind of have to, it keeps you accountable. And I think live streaming, anybody who does live streaming or anybody who does something where they tell people one thing and then they do another, it's kind of counterintuitive, right? So I do this because it helps me and it helps you, right? It'll keep me strong on my strategy a bit. Okay, so they're both pushing up. I think if the Nasdaq can push above here, 14,900 would be is like a key resistance here. We could possibly get a run up. I just think that the markets are it's hard to be bearish on anything. Patiently waiting, we're down 125, but it's okay, because if it pushes above that close, we can see some movement. But at the same time, it could have just went back to that close and picked up some orders over there also and went the other way. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to just try and be as patient as I can with this one. Let it pick a direction. Levels are huge, man. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Certain songs just get stuck in your head sometimes, right? Can't help but sing them. So now that we have pushed above the VWAP and we're kind of just sitting on that previous day close, you kind of got to just see if it'll hold that and what the momentum is going to do here, right? So if we're going to go here and zoom in a bit, it's kind of going to just bounce around between these two. Likely, this is a very strong candle here. There was a decent amount of orders. Obviously, this sell-off was huge, but markets tend to like to fall a little quicker than they rise. I'm going to go to the 30-minute. We're still in that uptrend, right? There's nothing telling us that it's going to go pushing down, especially since this solid point of support was respected, right, in such a way. Even on the 30-minute chart, you can see that nothing ever accepted down here. It even didn't really accept below, too much below that previous day high, right? So this is a solid form of resistance here, this previous day close. Having orders up here on the overnight lends me to believe that there are still orders up there, and that if I could take it to that 43, 61, 62 level, that would be a nice target, because they're there, they're out there, they've been filled. But also the market doesn't like leaving things from the overnight session, right? The overnight sessions is a little bit erratic. It includes players that aren't normally, they're not on the floor, they're not doing those things, right? So markets like to be efficient. They don't like to leave orders from time periods that have not been there. They don't like, especially if this was like an all-time high, it doesn't like to leave an all-time high that happens in an overnight. So that's my also, another reason why I think we can at least get to that overnight high and then maybe even beyond it. But once I get to that overnight high, I like to trail up pretty tight so I can secure some of those profits. Could I let it run? Yes, but it's a day trading strategy. It's not a swing trading strategy. Swing trading strategy is a little bit different. U.S. existing home sales rebound from 4 months of declines. It could be helping this a bit, but probably not. Nothing too exciting in that news. So I am inclined to be a bit more patient with this trade. Keep letting it play out. Giving it time to breathe. Like I said, with this overnight session, we did open and push right up and clear out all these overnight orders that were here. And the overnight low wasn't much closer, right? I mean, much further away. So it's not like it has an inefficiency there. The inefficiency was the upside, it seems. And then also now we are running up. We got a little bit of a wedge here. If it could break above and hold above that 814, 891, then you could see it run up a bit. I really enjoy Texas so far, but I do have fruit flies in my room and it's annoying. So bugs are a thing here, that's for sure. It's super humid, so I guess they thrive. So you are getting that push up on the S&P, on the NASDAQ here. Hopefully it holds that. I am long it in Top Step right now. Got two contracts open on it. I would have, like I said, liked to have taken that trade from that 14,859 on that VWAP, that 860 level. Didn't, but I waited till it rebroke the 880-ish, right at the 879. That's my entry there. It's having a hard time breaking through that 891 level. I wanted to accept up above that. If I can get through that 14,900, my stops are going to be kind of tight on that because I have caught a decent profit point on there. If only this S&P would like to follow it a bit, clear out those overnight sessions. It just needs to break through that previous day close, to be honest with you. I think once it breaks through there, it's got a little room to run. I also like doing these futures trading, right? Natural gas inventory release, so I don't want to trade during that release, but I don't have any oil contracts out. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday. I do have my day job today. I have to go in, so we'll see what happens with that as far as getting off of here or not, depending on what time, how long I'm staying on, how long this lasts. Doesn't want to break that close. Orders into that 50 level. It starts to push again below that 50. Might be concerning, something to watch, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Still just soaking up orders, I think, to be honest. Soak up some of those orders and take it long. You got to just encourage it sometimes. Just take it long. Soak them up. Take them long. Just taking a breather for a second. That overnight downside momentum coming into the open. You got the bad news, whatever, unemployment numbers, just people not going back to work, because there are jobs. It's just people like free money, to be honest with you. But you got that little bad news there, like, whatever. It's not as impactful anymore. it got down to the overnight low. I don't think the news was bad enough to push us down back into the territory we were at. So, you get that rejection into the open. You'll push back down from that overnight, clear out those lows, soak up some orders, and hopefully look to clear out some of these overnight high orders before running up. That's my hypothesis for the day, right? That's at least the reasoning. If you have a reason, instead of just flailing in and jumping in. So we got these value areas that were formed so far today. Then obviously they adjust during the day, but we are below value. If we can accept back in, get up to the point of control, and then above, that's where I want to see it go. Needs to get back into the value areas. Sitting on the VWAP. The day trading cowboy. Let's change my name. Silly hat. I like it though. It's fun. It helped me grind out yesterday's trade, come out on the top, profitable. So I figured, hey, why not stick with what's working? Cowboy hat day 2. Until it doesn't work anymore, you keep going with it, right? Same thing in trading. Until it doesn't work anymore, you keep working with it. The wife had to say. No. Oh man, come on. Sometimes I'm just, wanting it to do something. Either way, Like we said, though, it is summer trading months. You're not going to get the same kind of volatility that you get in other time periods. We did go below 850, huh? 350. Interesting. Just gonna kind of grind around in that range now, huh? For the day. Decreased momentum to the upside, but these red dots, 5, 6, 7 in a row. If you can get another blue and a green dot, potentially could fire off up to upside. That's what I'm hoping for there. Okay, NASDAQ, do your thing, dude. Do your thing. Look at that. Just break above there. You got some momentum to break out. Above 900. If it pushes above 900, that's where I'm going to start trailing tight, and it looks like it's going to get there. Like I said, I don't have the order out here. It is on my top step. I will show you what I'm doing here. Here you go. Full transparency. Pushing almost to that 900. It's solid resistance. Like I said, I did enter that ES again on the top step. My stops are down here somewhere. So we got right at 900, right? That's the level. If you could flush through 900, you're going to get some bigger momentum. And if you do, you trail your stops, you secure some of those profits, because why would you give that back? Especially when you had that first loss on the day. I like to show you the charts over here because it's easier to see. Not really easier to see, but these charts are more intuitive. So I'll keep the NASDAQ up just so you can see it until the S&Ps decide to do something. They don't want to do anything at the moment. I think they're lagging at this point based on the tech sectors taking off a bit. Hopefully Microsoft and Apple push through 900. Come on. We'll probably get that grind up today. We'll see what happens. Existing home rebounds. We already got that notification. Crappy emails. I hope you guys are getting a good insight into what drives me as far as these trades are concerned and what my analysis are. I really do enjoy this. I could sit here and look at these charts all day, every day, if I didn't have a day job and a family and other things to do. I really do feel like trading does provide people with a lot of opportunity, and much of it comes with trading psychology. There we go. There's your breakout. Boom. I'm going to put this at just below $8.99. I don't care if I get stopped on that. If it pulls back, I don't. My upside target for that, 97 it was, I think. Oh, let's see. Oh, 30-minute chart here. We did break up to 900. I think we can carry it up to 930 would be fantastic. 927. 927 was the number. But I likely will get whipped around on that and popped out because I trailed pretty tight once it broke through that level. I could let it breathe a little bit more and come back, but I don't mind securing about, let's see, $790 on that trade there. Especially with this combine that they got going here. You have to trade in step 2 for at least 10 days. So you show you're profitable, consistent, and you can follow rules and do what you have to do. So I don't need to make $10,000 in one day. All right, I need to, if I can make $1,000 a day for 10 days, there you go. There's your $9,000 target that you have to hit in this combine. So hopefully, since this is breaking out, maybe I can get a little bit of a follow through with the S&P here. That's my goal, to see where it heads. 927 would be beautiful. Look at that. So see, these blue popped off. You're getting a little bit of more of a blue candle here. You're still holding above the VWAP. I stuck it at my stop on the top step at 14,899 because I was hoping that it would still hold above the 900 as the round number. But it probably will dip down, suck up some of those old orders. If not, I'll hold on. But also, like I said, I'm in the S&P trade on both. So if I can catch them both, that'd be great. It'd be great. And also in this S&P trade here, right? So now my targets are the overnight high if I do catch that breakout.
Stop filled.
And so there's the stop. I'm pulled at 810 on that trade. Do I still think that the momentum is to the upside on this? Yes. But I'm not giving back. Once I get up to that kind of number on these, I'm not getting greedy. But with my S&P trade on this account, on the Thinkorswim account here, I'm going to look to take that to the overnight high. I'm going to be a little bit more patient to let it grind up a little bit. Because if it does accept above here, it should, in theory, come up to that overnight high and fill those orders. I'm not going to trail my stop up until I feel like we're maybe mid-range, 43.56. If we could break above that, up into the 43.57s, then I might look to come pull that stop to break even. But I'm not really sure that would be smart because it would probably chop around. It's going to take some chop. I think that breakout's going to help us out a little bit. The last few days, the Nasdaq has treated me right. My analysis on it has been good. I should stick to it. I should maybe start taking it on this S&P on this chart. But I feel like me and the S&Ps have had a solid agreement of late. So that's kind of why I just chose them instead of the Nasdaq. Sometimes it's just a feel thing. So we are pushing above that previous day close, which has been resistance. Hopefully we could hold it. It is 9:33. This is that first candle after the half hour, so it is a new 30-minute candle. Maybe we could look to get some momentum off of that. My throat. Talking too much. There we go. Come on, baby. Gonna encourage it. Encouragement. Yes, encouragement. I'm pulling this up so I can see it. I need to look closer. I want to see a green dot pop. If I can get a green dot to pop off here, we can possibly see this. It'll probably pop off if it does above this 43.53, that entry point. Look at that. Get above my entry. Come on, Lee. Jim on, Lee. Jim on. So this could have been a downside reversal. You know, it's up here. It's a reversal off that level there. It's not an exact science, so I don't really use it too much. I will consider it in certain trading situations because it does have to do with volume and stuff like that. All right, give me a green squeeze and an explosive move up. All the orders are right here, right? That's where they're at. So they're here, and I'm gonna guess up here at that overnight high of 43.61. If we get up here, it's not gonna show right now. But let's see on Top Step. That 43.60, there's no sells up there at the moment. So I think if it does get to that overnight high, it will have some resistance. That's for sure. You're getting that resistance at 43.55. So 55, you're going to expect some chop potentially, or it might just eat up those orders and move on. 907 on the thing. I got to get off of that. $54.55, like this zone here. You see this from the base of this candle at 53 to the top of here is 55.54. So that you're gonna get some chop there. You got chop on the downside. You got some chop on the upside there. There's orders here. It's expected to run into some resistance unless a big money player decides to put their show on, and then you'll see it move. This is the level. That is a solid hold. Continuing to hold. Patience is key. That's the biggest thing you could take from this. Patience. Huge patience game. You understood my reasoning for getting in over here, potentially 835. The candle closed above and it held, and then it opened again over here and it was holding. So that's my entry criteria. It just so happened that it decided to melt its face off to my second entry point potentially, right? So on a rejection down here, if I had buying power to potentially put in another on that rejection, there's also, you can do this with the futures a bit. If you see that this level is going to be solid and continuously, and you feel that you're still correct, you can still add to this position without killing yourself, right? You have to do it smartly with percentages and understanding your money management system. But to me, I would not have hated adding on around here, right? Obviously, look at how how it's reacted since. You recover your losses, you cost average down, and you know, adding to losers is not ideal, and that's not something that I'm advocating for at all. But in certain situations, it is a play, especially in the futures market, because it has to do with cost averaging as well. And day trading is a thing, kind of. There we go. NASDAQ, look at you go. Could I have not put my stops at $8.99? Yes. Should I have been a little more patient? Yes. Did I make $800 on the trade? Yes. So, could I have made double? Of course. If I hold to my target of 927, you get it. Being patient on this one, taking it up. Overnight high is my target. Let's see if I can let it breathe for the rest of the day. Like I said, I do have to go to work at some point today, so we'll see where I'm at that point. If I'm out, if I've finished for the day. It is going to take me a little longer to get prepared to go and drive to work, because I got to drive with my left foot and all that fun stuff. So you can see the top step. This is a beautiful move there. These are the realized P&Ls, unrealized. So it was nice. So you could see kind of how getting stopped out down here. I had that stop there because it automatically sets on my, I have it set as a bracket order. So it just got stopped out. It is, it is what it is on this. But I am recovering it. But it took some. It's taking more upside to recover these losses. Obviously, if it does break out and it goes to where I expect the targets to be, that loss is not going to be an issue. But if it decides to roll over again, then it's a pain in the ass. So once I'm funded and I don't have like a profit target that I need to reach and stuff like that, I do want to keep my drawdown percentages to a minimum. But I'm not going to have the same kind of aggressive like profit taking strategy. I could let some of these run in the same way that I'm letting them run on here. Oh, fuck. We're profitable today. Woohoo! Maybe not. It could all roll over again, but I don't see that happening. 43.61 is the first target. I'm going to start moving my stops when I have that. I'm going to start moving my stops on the top step, though, because I ain't trying to lose money on this trade at all. Zero loss on this. So it's at break even now from that base. Actually, it's plus 100, so we can cover commissions. 43.61 is the target. Being patient, letting your hypothesis go, and understanding market participants and what you think is going to happen, but with an educated guess, right? I'm not just throwing darts at a dartboard here. I have a plan. I have an understanding at the moment of where I have a feeling of where it's going to go, why it's going to go there, and how I'm going to execute that plan on a day-to-day basis. And if you come to the charts and you do this every single day, you have a routine, you get out here, even if you're, like I said, even if your strategy is flipping coins, if you can do that every single day and do it exactly the same every single day without question, there's a chance that you could be profitable. You just have to have the right kind of strategy. I mean, it's just, and it's all mental fortitude. It's a lot of things out there that are, difficult to do. Trading is not hard. It's just draining, right? Now with this, right? if I wanted to secure $137 now, could I? $125, whatever it is, I could, and just walk away. That's a great day. My hypothesis is it's going to fill those orders up until the overnight high. So I'm not going to cut myself short on this, just because I had that drawdown of my daily loss potential limit. I'm not going to panic sell, but I'm also not going to get greedy. And if it runs up to that overnight high and decides, I'm gonna push through, and I'm not going to let myself lose more. So there's a difference in trailing the stop and protecting gains, and trailing the stop and getting stopped out too soon because you're scared that it's going to come back down again. All right, let your hypotheses work for you. Let your lucky cowboy hat, come into play here. Let it do its thing, and just grind it out, baby. Grind it out. If you love this shit, keep doing it. I love this shit. It's so much fun, to be honest. I mean, to some people, this is boring, right? Some people, they don't want to look at these charts all day and see it go up and down and have indicators and potentially lose 500 and to make 1,000 or whatever. It's not for everybody, that's for sure. It's a mental grind, and some people just can't handle it. But if you love it and you want to do it, you can do it. You could do it if you have a job. You're just gonna have to figure out ways to get into the market. Reasons I picked Forex in the beginning: ease of entry, time that you can trade, 24 hours a day, 5-ish days a week, 6 days a week. So it allows you time. So if you can't get to the markets or to the charts on days like from 9 to 5, you got a 9 to 5 job, you don't have to trade those markets. You can find a way, find a market that allows you entry. Futures you could trade all day, every day. There are pauses and breaks in certain different futures contracts. You have to understand when those times are. They've paused every day. But you could trade on the overnight session, and you can trade in the pre-market session. You just got to know when it's good for you and have a strategy that fits those times. If you can do that, then you can be consistently profitable. But you have to dedicate time to it. It's not going to just happen overnight. And you're going to keep failing over and over and over again until you don't, like I said. I'm getting hungry though, that's for sure. So I used to do intermittent fasting pretty consistently. My schedule has changed so many times that I've stopped at the moment, but I'm going to start probably kicking back into gear. I like to eat probably when I'm at work only, those hours. But I'm getting a little hungry right now, that's for sure. I expect this to breathe a bit. Like we were saying, that 43.55, 43.44, those are levels that are going to be important. There are going to be orders there. They're going to grind up. This is not a explosive move to the upside, but I do believe that it's going to close that gap. Natural gas storage, 49 billion versus 44 billion. So there's a surplus of natural gas. What do we think? Up or down? What time was that at? It looks like it didn't like it too much. Right? Natural gas storage. Probably going to push back down to that bottom there, potentially. Maybe. Not concerned about it. Don't trade natural gas. If you want to, and that's your niche, you can do it. Just understand the market, understand why it does what it does, and be consistent with it. If I can come out here every day and talk to you guys, and even if there's nobody out there, I'm just going to keep doing it, keep being as consistent as I can, and look to try and pull profits out. Day in, day out. NASDAQ was a great trade. Potentially could have been home run status. At least a triple. But I didn't. I trailed it. I gotta start taking the NASDAQ on these. Maybe when the account grows a bit more. These options contracts are tying up a little bit more of my capital. Once they start getting a little bit green, I might cut some of them. 50% profit marks, and then start using more of the capital to do some futures trading, because I do like my future strategy at the moment. I'm going to try and capitalize on that while I can. Jamon. So like you saw, we were up, whatever, almost 200. 43.61 would be 325. If we could push through there, I'd be interested to see how high it would go. But like I said, I'm going to start getting super tight with the stops once it comes down to getting closer to that overnight high. I don't foresee that it wants to push down below the VWAP again. We might get close to there, but I don't know if we're going to have anything that's going to. There's got to be news that's going to push it down below this level, and news that's worse than a slightly larger tick up in unemployment levels. So, like I said in past videos, with the stimulus checks and the Fed doing their easing and all that, their stance on inflation, however it may seem like they're not telling the truth, this market doesn't have any reason to take a deep breath and change its course at the moment. So we'll see what happens as far as what they say in future meetings and whatnot. Expect this to wedge out maybe a little wedge here. Probably. If we can hold above 56, we shouldn't really come below it much more. Last day with the beard again. I'm going to try and be super patient with this today. We are in positive territory, which is nice. After the drawdown, hopefully we can get a little bit more of a push up to secure some of it. Just does not want to have that follow through that it really should be having at the moment, in my eyes. It's a grind though, like I said, summertime trading. The best time. Hand. I don't understand why it keeps doing this so quick. I'm not inactive. Silly. I think after that big push up, it's going to breathe a bit. The reason I have the thoughts on this level here as opposed to this level here is because of the way the market momentum is working and whatnot. Once we got down here, the momentum wasn't as strong. I know that this level is super secure. It's like a brick wall. We had the problem breaking through it yesterday coming up. We're going to have an issue breaking through it coming down. Like I said, I think we're going to need more than just a slightly worse than expected housing market. I mean, not housing market, unemployment. So up here, this is just orders being filled, to be honest, in my theory. So down here is a big resistance level. Up here, it's not a big resistance level. There's just orders up here that have not been filled, or they're kind of just putzing along, and you just saw that. That's pretty much where we sat all overnight. So I don't feel like there's that serious resistance here. I feel like this is more people ran the market up a bit, took some profits, and now it's breathing a touch for the next run up, hopefully to that overnight high and beyond. So that's why at this level I don't have the same kind of thought processes as I do at the bottom. So at least you have sort of an idea of why I'm thinking that as well. All right, I'm going to hop to the bathroom because I drink too much coffee. We do have a couple minutes, I think, before this thing breaks out, so I'll be right back quick. Hopping on back. There we go. Alrighty. And we're back. Still just kind of chopping along here. You got that big momentum push to the upside. I got that green to fire here, so looking for it to potentially shoot off of this level here a bit in a moment, hopefully, if that green dot is sort of accurate. Could not. Could just sit there. It's just one more little thing that helps make a slight decision. I don't like to have a ton of indicators. I just like things that help me continue to hold, or something that tells me, hey, this is probably a really bad idea to get out. And I don't do like moving average crosses or tons. You can see what I have on here. It's a little bit different with the futures as opposed to other stuff, naked charts on like forex markets and stuff like that. The reason I like the VWAP is because it's volume weighted. Same with this bottom squeeze indicator. It has a lot to do with volume, orders. I expected a punch of chop, like I said, before we got into this level here. It chopped its way down, it chopped its way up, it chopped its way down. This was a great indication of where we want to go. Same down up here with the Nasdaq. It's still, I think it still wants to get to that 27. It got pretty close. It got to 23, 25. So this could be just a breather and then a push back up to 27 and beyond. So that's what I'm looking at for that. Oh, my ankle is throbbing. Very nice. just a bit more pushing up. I think that 3 candles is enough of a breather now. Come on. Give me a little run up to the overnight high. If you're feeling frisky, push up even higher. Why not, right? If you're looking to potentially take it higher, 43.68. Safe 43.67. 43.68 would be the point that you recover every bit of the sell-off from the open on Friday down to the low on Monday and back up. So I think that 68 level is not a far-fetched target. This is going to be a grind today again. A second day of just kind of grinding higher. It sells off quick, and then it grinds up and grinds up and grinds. It's hard to fight the bears, the bulls, I should say. But eventually they always win. Inherently, I think a lot of us are naturally bearish, to be honest. I mean, a lot of people want to go against it. Everybody's looking to short the top, but it's almost impossible. So I think that's why it kind of grinds higher and higher. Once again, I appreciate anybody who watched, came by, asked any questions. It's cool. Like I said, every day any day I'm trading, I'm gonna be on here. I'm gonna be providing whatever analysis that I have in my head and trying to stick to my plan as best I can, just so you can see what it's like to be consistent and do things in a way that provides you an opportunity to come out here every single day without losing all your money, and hopefully you can pull some money out as well. And you could have your day job, you could have your fun. You don't have to trade every day if you don't want to. Some of my rules in place have a lot to do with if I'm up a certain percentage for a week or a month, I'm done. I'm not trading the rest of the week, or maybe even potentially probably not the month, because I love doing this too much. I like coming to the charts and being here and doing this stuff and keeping my skills sharp and doing my analysis. But at some point you got to take a couple days or something to yourself. So a lot of times it's a weekly target. I hit the target, I'll stop. Tomorrow I probably won't live. Today's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm going to consider not live streaming tomorrow because Fridays are brutal to trade, especially in the summer. Yes, I've made good money on Fridays sometimes, but there is some Fridays that just whip you around, and there's just no volume. A lot of people are taking that day off. So if you think today is slow, tomorrow, hey, we could get some news or something and get some big volatility spikes, but I don't foresee it. So I don't think tomorrow I'll live stream. I will come back to live streaming Monday, and we'll give you an actual date for it. Monday the 26th, I will be back live streaming. This weekend I'm going to try and make a video for you. Something, maybe a review of the week, some outlook. I am expecting to get my new GoPro in the mail, so I'll do a little GoPro review for you, a little unboxing. See what comes of that as well. So, like I said, this channel is about a little bit about everything, how it's like starting a new channel, starting a new life in a new state, and what it's like to actually day trade and also have a job, right? So like I said, this is a retirement account that I'm trading in. That's why I'm also doing Top Step, so I can have a stream of income from it as well. So hopefully I could stick to their rules, pass their little combine, and then I'll review that as well and see how that actually goes. And if it's a viable source for you, then you can give it a shot. And if you do want to try already, there is a link in pretty much every one of my videos that gives you $50 off your first little thing on the Combine. So that's pretty cool if you want to give it a shot. So like I said, we're going to continue to get this chop between 53 55. It's still not telling me that it's wrong. Just like this was telling me it's not wrong. As long as we're holding above the previous day close and the VWAP, it's going to hopefully grind to the top. We will wait and see. I don't think it was a manipulation to get people in. I don't think they have enough shorts to get into that. And also, now that I feel like the NASDAQ today has been winning the lead battle. It's did its pullback and it's starting to push back up again. It did hit the tip there. I'm still waiting for that 927 level to kind of come into play. Oh, yay. Come on, guys. S&P 500, Facebook, Google, Charter Communications, Visa's turning green. AT&T is starting to give some gains, I think. Verizon's still kind of chilling. Disney and Netflix. Netflix, I don't know how they missed earnings with all those new users. It's crazy. This just wants to keep pushing down, huh? Grind on it. Oh, what the hell? Keep on grinding. So now if I would have moved my stops to break even that quickly, I would have been stopped out for that break even number. Still not trying to do that because I do feel like my theory is correct in this super low volatility day. We'll see. I don't know. It's kind of rolling over a little bit right now. There we go. Pushing right down to the VWAP. See if it rejects it. I forgot I put something in my cast here. Ooh. It's selling down again. There we go. Oh, wonderful. Wonderbar. 43.48. Maybe there was a grab. But we're still in this little up channel here. Not concerned. Patiently waiting to grind myself higher up to the overnight high. You saw when the momentum changed, right? You got the green, but it pushed it the opposite direction. Kind of want to see what gold's doing just to take a peek. Gold is pushing back up from that. Look at that level. Boom. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Just bouncing off of it. I love when levels are respected. Gives me hope. Alrighty. Big rejection off the VWAP. Like I was saying yesterday, a lot of times I'm gonna try and at least hold this live stream till around 11 or 10:30, 11. Even if I'm pretty much out, 10:30 would be a nice time. I can continue it to do some analysis on things. I'll do other charts if you want. Like, if I've made my profits on the day, I'll still do some stuff if people have questions on certain videos, on certain charts and certain things. I'll do that. Just on price behaviors and stuff that potentially that you're looking at. So I am going to keep holding this for the time being. I know it's a bit boring when it's just sitting around and not super volatile, but that's kind of what you get out of summertime trading and just being patient and with the strategy here. It's not like I'm not scalping. I'm not like doing exciting scalps off of 1 minute charts on one tick and doing a bunch of contracts, right? So I'm looking to catch a little piece of a big move and hoping to profit off of that, and that's really what I'm doing. That's been consistent for me for the last few months, year or whatever. So I'm gonna keep doing it until it doesn't work anymore, and then I'll make an adjustment as I need to. If you do want to see more or anything like that, just like I said, hit me up on YouTube. Any comments? If you do Discord or whatever, if you're in Top Traders, you can always hit me up there. I'm gonna let this kind of play out a little bit longer, probably till 10:30, just so you can see. Maybe even if it does decide to do some wonky things, I'll stay on until 11. But at this point, you understand my thought process. You understand where I'm at, what I'm gonna do if certain things are happening. So like I said, I'm just gonna keep it going until probably 10:30, 11, and then cut out and let you guys check out on something else. But I like to live stream when I'm doing it, and so you could see how I got to where I get. Some of these, if I'm not live streaming, like say tomorrow, if things are flat, it's not worth your time to just kind of watch and do nothing. And unless you have questions, then you can hit me up and we'll do a live. But Fridays, if I do trade, I'll do a little bit of a recap video like I did last week, or the week before, I should say. Last week I broke my ankle, so I didn't really do much videoing. Yep. This is just having fun coming down again. Trying to scare people out, shaking them out. I do not break. It may bend, but it's not going to break. I don't see this having any reason to do what it's doing other than it just feels like it. Getting rid of some of those orders at 43.55, 43.54. There's a bunch of orders just sitting around here, 43.54. So that's it. That's what it comes down to on these charts. I think a lot of the value in the beginning of the day, or even like as I'm going through the day, is what I'm thinking and how I execute certain things and why I execute certain things, and where the chart takes me and where it takes you. So, in hindsight, if we're reviewing this a bit, maybe I wanted to wait till it came down and rejected this level here. Did I maybe get in early? Yes. But I'm managing my position with what I have at this time, right? Great. This would have been a fantastic entry, and I would probably do it again if I do. However, maybe for the upside, if I'm going to wait on that, maybe wait for something like this. Wait for it to break above and then pull back down and then enter on a VWAP rejection or something. So, you still get a slightly better entry, and you do get a confirmation. It's little things that you've got to kind of finagle in your own strategy and make it work for you. For me, this is not an issue. I can sit here and watch this all day until I get to a point where I expect it to do something that I thought it was going to do. If it does decide to go crazy and sell off, then hey, I lose some money, and I didn't break the bank. I kind of just was wrong, and sometimes you're wrong in this game. So Here's to hoping that I'm not wrong too much. Prefer to be wrong less than I'm, at least not less than I'm right, but prefer to be wrong in a better way than I'm right. You know, I can catch some bigger moves to the upside than I can to the downside. So it is just selling off here. But like for you and me, like what is telling you to get out? This is a big move up, move down. We have a higher low, higher high, lower low on this. This is really, technically it's lower high, lower low. But now we have switched, right? So higher high, ultimate low, higher high. As long as this doesn't break down there, it's still pushing itself to the upside. You know, if you're going to go off of channels and stuff, this is probably the bottom of that channel. Parallel here. Hopefully get a little rejection to see what the value areas are looking like right now. Oop. We're dipped below value. What the hell? That's not good. Temperature is high. Just trade both. All right, come on. Find a bottom and push up again one more time. So now you understand why I didn't pull my stops super tight. Because you're going to get drawdown, profit, drawdown, especially when there's not a reason for it to not just grind in the direction that it wants to go. Yesterday, it just did the same thing, right? We pushed up a bit. This is the pre-market. This is open. It opened up, and then it just slowly ground up. Today, overnight was super flat, and now today you got the opposite with the open down a little bit, but now we're grinding higher. Grinding higher. Win the grind. That's all I need to do. NASDAQ pulled down to the VWAP again. It's sitting on structure. 14,880 is that key level still. Has not changed. No more coffee. Boo. It's made. It's in the kitchen. It's hard to hop back with a hot cup of coffee though. Hopping there is fine. Hopping back, not so much. I'm feeling this is ripe for a rejection of that overnight high. Look at that candle. Beautiful, beautiful rejection. I don't know if you hate that I move the charts around a lot, but I kind of just want to show you the other ones and see kind of how they're acting, and that it helps me also make some decisions on what I want to do with my open position. $10.20 coming into the last 10 minutes of the 30-minute candle here. Sitting right at the value, the point of control so far for the day, which is fair. 43.53, 43.54. Has that room to that upside, man. I mean, I really don't see why not. So needs to break above that 55. That is a value area high. However, there are prints up here that need to be taken care of. They need to be dealt with. NASDAQ, to me, if I were to be taking in one more position on it, probably would have entered right about here. Maybe. But I'm up a decent clip on it, so if I did enter, it'd probably be just with one contract just to catch it a little bit of a move. But not really looking to do that at the moment. You probably catch it up again. Same with how we're doing here. If you can plan your attack on it, go for it. But really right now, I'm managing this open position on this account. Same one in the top step. And if I can get that to be a little bit pushed up higher, then we're good. That's good enough for me for the day. Not getting greedy, just being consistent, taking those moves and walking away. So this is the top step. Like I said, haven't added any more. Just got 2 contracts on this. If you can see why it looks good, right? It had that big push up, took that breath, came back to structure, used the VWAP as support. Yeah, I mean, this is, you could have taken that entry at 87, and if you wanted to even just catch to 920, there's a chance it's going to push there again at some point today. Oh no, he's getting fever. I hate that. Come on. Pick your direction. Correction. I know your fella. How about you pick my direction? Let's go with that. Go with my idea of what's happening. See what some of these look like. Netflix just killing me. think it has time to recover. But, you know, it was up 1,000 on that. Now it's break even. Dropbox just sitting there too. Kind of just in that little range. This is the spread. Also, this is my spread for Netflix. Long-term idea on it. If we could push to our break-even point again, hopefully the next run-up can get us to that 43.61 if we're following this little ascending channel. 43.61 could be that next push-up if we could get there. As long as I have the trade open, I'm gonna stay here. I know I said I was gonna close at 10:30, 11. No reason. If you want to come back in and out and check out my progress, it's cool. It just keeps me honest. I definitely have to be off by 12-ish, so hopefully I'm out and done by 12. Look at that. Your entry there would have been great. Right off the tip of the overnight high. It looks like it wants to just sit there. I don't have any news. 52 here. Economic indicators increased by less than expected in the month of June. The report said that the Conference Board leading economic indicator index climbed by 0.7% in June after advancing by a downwardly revised 1.2% in May. So, economic index is climbing less than expected. So maybe that's pushing us down a little bit here. Don't think that's going to have a huge impact. Dow Jones. Big time players are green. Industrials are mainly red. Energy is red. Communications is borderline. IT is super strong as usual. Banking is still down. Alright, well, we're getting a solid push down again. There it is. Might have to think about getting out of it soon. Could that have been enough news to get us out of our position? Yo no sé. I want to soak up those overnight low high orders before I decide to get out of this. I am more patient than some, less patient than others. I have my risk tolerance. You will have your own risk tolerance. At the end of the day, whatever works for you works for you. Like I said, I'm not trying to be greedy, but I am trying to manage the position in a way that I know where I'm right or wrong and then get out. I know, we had that good move up. We're still kind of back at that bottom here. I want to see a big buy order come in and suck that up. like I was saying, that chop at that 43.55, 43.54. There were sell orders there. They're still there. You need to soak those up before you can push through it. So it's going to be a choppy day. It has been a choppy day. It's been about 2 hours now of just chop. There is a way to make money in this, but it's kind of more patient. And if you have a different kind of strategy where it's a little bit of a range bound strategy, could work for you. Like I said, I'm going to be a little more patient with it. Let it run. Try and get it to get up to that overnight high, and then manage it from there. I kind of wanted to do that sooner, like within the first hour or so, clear that out, and then see what happens. And, maybe take my profits or trail it up, and if it can break, then continue trailing it. But fuck it. We're just gonna keep watching. Go back to the volume profiles. Still in value. It loves to stay in the value areas. It pushed off of the point of control in this here, right? They have different kind of algorithms with each of these, so that on this chart, this is the value area low. Most of the orders are here. We're looking to see if we could push back up and above it. And then I want to get above this value area. That's the key. Yesterday I had said, in every live stream I'm going to mention, this is the active trader DOM thing here. I do have it on this and that, just in case I decide, hey, this is catastrophic, I need to get out, or if I want to get into something that I see. I have it on each of my platforms, each of my charts, where I can get it to it quickly and get in or out. Day trading on the phone doesn't work, so don't do it. If you want to manage a position after you're in it and you're doing things and you kind of just want to trail your stops and carry on, that's great. And if you find an entry that you really like, for like some sort of long term or something, options or something like that, if that's what you're looking for, a swing, yeah, you can do that on your phone. But if you're looking to get in and out within a few minutes and hours, I don't recommend the phone app. It's great, it's super functional, you can track everything, but at the same time, it's not as easy to just click one button and get out. You can click flatten and you'll be filled pretty quick. On the app, you got to click order, click another, confirm, then use your fingerprint or your face. It's a lot. So you might want to get out right now. Oh no, and then by the time you get out, you're down here and you're at double your loss. So just keep that in mind if you do decide to use Thinkorswim or any app. Some of the apps aren't as functional as others. I do enjoy their app. It is one of the better apps, but like I said, you shouldn't be day trading on your phone anyway. Being on the computer gives you like a little sense of home too. You're focused, you're in here, this is what you're doing. Come on, pick your direction, guy. Getting hungry again. But I love these charts so much with my cowboy hat in my hand. Maybe this cowboy hat's making it a grind, it's slowing my charts down or something. I don't know. It worked out yesterday, so it's close to today. See what happens if we could pull it out today. Then maybe the cowboy hat makes its appearance again next week. If not, it's back to the baseball hats or something that's close, or no hat at all. Slow moving days. Not as exciting as people make it seem. I mean, if you're going to day trade some, let's say, active trader on a 5 minute, let's go, or a 1 minute, you get some. Look at this. Let's scan some of this. Let's go with IPA, or let's see. Let's hit scan one more time. GACE. Let's go with IPA. So we're active trade IPA. Look at that movement for the day. You trade something like this and you're day trading it and you're getting in and out and buying shares. It might be a little exciting. You get in, you buy 500 shares, 1,000 shares, and try to get in and out. That's something that you can do. You could day trade stocks that way. Let's see. These are smaller amounts. I like to look for something that's a bit more. Dragonfly is up today. DFLYF. I like Dragonfly. It's one of my. So you got a wedge pattern forming here. If you break out above here, possibly you could take it back to the high. These are things that you can do. You're trading on the volumes and the pre-markets and stuff like that. You got a good amount of volume on that sell order there, so maybe not. Maybe this is dead for the day, right? But this is something you can do if you want to day trade. You can do it on charts, on stocks as well. I'm a futures guy. I just like the way I can control my risk and my reward, and I just know that these are my two markets that I'm trying to hammer out every day. And if some people enjoy the thrill of picking the right stock and doing that every day, that's a little more exciting. And if I do that on a certain day, you'll be forewarned. I'll make it a stock day trading day on that, or if I do some options day trading, where you're looking for some volatility, you're looking at a good chart pattern, and you're just trying to catch some of the options profits, buy a few contracts. We could do that too. So I'm not going to limit this whole account. It's gonna change as market conditions change for me. When I do start being able to, I don't know why, for some reason I have to contact TD Ameritrade to see why my Forex account trading is not working currently. It might have to do with that this is an IRA, but I will get back to that. So if I can mix in some Forex swing trades, I will do those analysis as well. But currently, right now, I do have an Owanda account, but all of my funds are in this TD account currently. So I have to contact TD and see what they're saying about my Forex trading abilities, or if I have to move some money into it to make it separate, I'll have to reach out to Kyler about it, see what he says. But yeah, so I'll do some of that. I'll do some Forex analysis. I'll continue my futures analysis because it's my fun day trading and consistent. I'm able to profit consistently off of it on a day-to-day basis. Right now, obviously we're in the red, but on a day-to-day average, I'm making it work. So Forex, I will do analysis. I'll look at some stock stuff. Also, when I do some options plays, I will put them on here if I decide to do them during the day. A lot of times I will dabble in those things if I get done with this within the first hour, 30 minutes, if I get done pretty quick. If it's a day like today, I don't really like to distract myself too much with other stuff. Also, it kind of limits my buying power, especially on this size account. If you have, a solid account, in the six figures, then you can do a little bit of everything at the same time. But like I showed you that the margins on these, if you got $12,000 tied up, as soon as you put in, 2-3 contracts, you're eating up $36,000, and that's a lot of money, right? It's bigger than the account. So that's why you can only trade one at a time, or however it works. I'm just gonna keep open the S&Ps for now, because that's what I'm in. That's what I'm managing. Still in that channel. It's just kind of sitting there now. I don't know if we're going to get enough volume to get out of this until later, which just kind of sucks. I'll manage that position, but I'll probably end up cutting off the live stream because you're not going to sit here all day and watch. Needed to get back above. It is grinding. It's a grind kind of day. Nasdaq's forming a little bit of a base, but that 14,900 level, I keep coming back to it. It keeps coming. Like, that's such a key point for me. Such a round number. If it can peak above it again, maybe it'll hold it. But right now, it's that chop. And then on here, that 54, 55, like this little zone here. Even where we're at now, it's all of the orders and everything is just kind of sitting in here. There's not anybody pushing it in one direction or the other. I have the ability to be patient with it. Nothing's showing me anything otherwise. Same reason I'm not wrong here. I'm not wrong here. Up here, I kind of figured it would push out a bit kind of quicker, but maybe people just got done with the day and sold off, and that was that. But now we're pushing back to the red momentum-wise. So, we'll see. We'll see if this pushes up or pushes back down. I'll cut the stream. You guys can carry on with your day. If you have questions or if you want to know how the day ended up for me, you could always reach out. I'm going to give this till 11, just like yesterday. I went to 11 yesterday. I'll go to 11 today. I post all of my results in my little Discord thing just to track. If you have any questions, you could always message me on there through Top Traders or through mine or on YouTube. If you just found me through YouTube, you could always message me on YouTube, and you could figure out, I'll send you a screenshot or something of how my day ended up. Yesterday I put it on my Instagram. You can always follow me on Instagram at Policing Pips. Pretty simple, same as here. And I do post a lot of my results there as well, just kind of in the story mode. Kind of looks like it's going to sell off again, so I am probably see what the candles do at the low and then cut it or not. Looks like the Nasdaq was the trade for the day. That was the appropriate one. Unfortunately, we chose the wrong one for momentum wise, as far as not being chopped around as much. Maybe it's accepting some of the bad news now, maybe not. Might have to use my little Nasdaq strategy to get back some monies for the day. But I will update you if I do anything else. .30-minute chart.
I want to recover that whole loss and be back in that zone. That's me. Could it be that it doesn't make it all the way up there? There's a chance. It could roll back over now. Markets don't have to do anything they don't want to do. So, do whatever they want. Whenever they want. It's pushed right down to that. Still out of value though. What was I doing with that one? $43.42 was that number yesterday. So that's the decision point for most of this chart, I think. Yeah, just been a kind of a grinding day, just like yesterday. Yesterday was a grind. I did come out with like 360 something on the day. Could I have just secured some of these profits here at that 43.58? Yes, but you saw my thought processes on why I felt a continuation or a rejection was coming, and we're kind of in that same boat still. So I'm not too concerned about it really. Just kind of letting it happen. I have some patience. I have some time. I can do this. Some people don't have the time. Some people don't have the patience. So, or the risk tolerance for it. I want to be wrong when I'm wrong, right? I don't want to lose a ton of money, but I also don't want to be almost right, or just barely wrong, get stopped out. I hate when it happens. It happens all the time. You get wicked out, then it rips in your direction. So I have my risk tolerances set, and I kind of just go with that and let it ride. There will be some days that I feel like I need to go out or do something, like yesterday where I went to the jiu-jitsu school to do some paperwork, hang out, watch the class, learn a little bit from the sidelines. So I cut I put my stop out, cut my winner off, and then made some more money at the end of the day on the same strategy. So kind of like just continuation play once I returned back to the computer. But daylight today, once I leave the computer, for the most part, I can't come back. I'll be at work all day, and I'm not going to do anything on my phone as far as entering or exiting, especially at the end of the day. It's going to be that's usually a volatile time. So I'm just going to kind of look to see what this is going to do over the next, little while. And then I'll either cut my loss and have a loss for the day, or if I have to go to work before I can get to my full profits, just pop my stop up there and trail it out. And there's that. But, it's usually kind of what I like to try and do here. This might want to push down through. Who knows? Like I said, though, I don't think any of these news little fundamental analysis type things that came out today are enough. But it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the market makers think. So we'll see what the hedge funds think, what everybody thinks. I'm just trying to catch their moves. Get in their heads a little bit also. We're getting that rejection again from that bottom. A lot of orders there. It's like a little wall. So we'll see what happens with it. If it can continue its rebound and do the same thing it did before. If it does the same thing it did before and kind of pushes back up here, that's the 1, 2. This is the third time. We're gonna look to see if we can hopefully not have it. Hate when those flies come in my face. See if we can just kind of move it up and take it from there. 3 touches up. it's expanding out here, but this is not. So it's like almost like a reverse wedge for me, to be honest. So I do think that expansion up, if it does come back above, it probably will have a good likelihood of continuing on the third time. Lunchtime for the Eastern time zone is in 10 minutes. So at 11 you might see a little spike in a direction. So I'll watch out for that for you, and then I'll shut down the live stream at 11, and I'll keep you posted, all right? Streaming for 2.5, 3 hours. It's nice. I could do it all day. If we could do some, once I start getting a little more consistent with it, get more viewers on a consistent basis, and if we can catch some volatility in some of these markets, then I'll maybe go longer or add some interesting things into the videos. But I do need to make some content for the weekend and try and enjoy the new channel, doing some other things, because this is the life of a day trader. Super exciting, right? That 900 level on that NASDAQ, if it can break it, it possibly could carry us back up. So that's why I look at that. So potentially it's going to push through now. So there's that 900 level, rejecting it again. Push through and up, and then I need that S&P to follow you. Thank you. Now we're above. There it is. I'm not looking to take that. I would have, but I'm not going to. Jump on, Lee, jump on. 9 minutes till lunchtime for the East Coast. Man, NASDAQ was just so clean today. Those moves were beautiful. S&P, just so choppy. I had to get into this one, huh? My motto is, it is what it is, right? Not that I don't care about certain things. It's just a matter of, once you're doing it, you got to deal with it and make it work. So there's just so many good moves on that NASDAQ that I could have just stuck with that for the day. I think eventually the S&Ps will follow. Like I said, they do like to follow each other, but it's just more of a chop today on that. The NASDAQ had better setups. And I can admit that for sure. Left some money on the table with that. A lot of the setups are playing out pretty perfectly. Even on here, I mean, if you were to take the bottom of this, like I was saying earlier, you could even take it now on a break above with a little bit of risk, bigger reward. It's going to be slow unless we get a rip up. But unusual options activity on trade desk. Okay. Yeah, I have the charts up on both screens, so. All right, so we're starting to get a little bit of movement. Nothing crazy. A little tiny bit of movement. For the day, the S&Ps are down 0.3%. Nasdaq's up 0.5%. The Russell is up down 1.7%. The Dow is down 0.1%, and the Nikkei 225 is down 0.16. So the Nasdaq is sort of the outlier here with the increased percentage on the rise. We're at that tipping point right now. 43.50. 43.50. Come on. If it gets above there, we are going to be in positive territory for the day. Like I said, the NASDAQ is up 0.5%, up 76 points. And the the S&Ps are down one point. So, come on. Looking to get back positive. If we can get them positive for the day, then maybe we can start seeing bigger gains and up. You know, it'd be nice to see the S&Ps up over the night. Previous day highs. I mean, it's there, but it's just below the close still. Just sitting there. It is totally, I mean, basically flat from yesterday, right? Down a point. Alrighty, 5 minutes. I'll let you all go. Review the video. Take out anything that you want from it. Let me know if you have any questions about levels or my ideas on holding through certain drawdowns and not cutting certain things, and then eventually how I ended up on the day. If you have any questions about that, obviously hit me up. Please like, subscribe, and also hit that little bell. That will help me get some content out to you. I know, like I said, like yesterday was good. Today is also the same. It just kind of teaches you that you have to be patient. Unfortunately, you know, you're not getting that big move quick, and I'm not showing you that yet, but that doesn't happen every day. So I'm just going to keep out here, keep grinding out the live streams. I'm going to start doing some other cool shit, hopefully, and then we'll make it work together, all right? So I'm going to close this out in about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and then I will see you all on Monday, because tomorrow, like I said, if you thought yesterday and today was kind of slow, Fridays are not any better, especially in the summertime. We did have some volatility over the last few months on Fridays, and I'm still going to be on the charts and stuff, but I'm not going to bore you with a day that looks potentially like last night's overnight session. If I do make trades or anything, if I find setups, I'm going to post my setups in my little Discord that I have with all my little friends and family. You can join it. There's a link. I'm also going to post a recap video if I do make a trade. So I'll do a post recap. I'll analyze the setup. If I make any gains or losses, I'll do that as well. So for now, this is pretty much coming to an end. You got like about 1.5 minutes. I'm just going to see where this does go on the 30-minute close. How we're looking. We do have a rejection candle on that 30-minute close. So I kind of want to see what happens on that top of the hour, and then I'll let you guys carry on, all right? Thank you for being here. Some interaction, better than no interaction. This is a lonely game if you're in it by yourself, so it's kind of cool to have some people talking and learning what it's like to actually do this day to day, and just being on the charts, trying to keep up with some new. If I had a TV in here, I'd probably have Bloomberg up, kind of like seeing some of the news. I don't really like to react off of it on an intraday basis, but fundamentally, long-term swings, huge importance. Won't trade through news events on here. Probably not a good idea. You're going to get whipsawed around. And the market does nothing that you think it's going to do. Oh, I got a gecko on my window. That's pretty cool. All right. Sounds good. 11 o'clock. New 30-minute candle. Nothing crazy volatility-wise, but we are starting to, it's green. That's a good sign. We're liking green candles today. Oh, my goodness. All right. So if it pushes up, we'll be happy. If it pushes down, we won't be as happy, but we did what we had to do as far as our trading plan is concerned, and that's all I can ask of myself. So shutting down the live stream. If you have any questions of how my day ends up, if it ends up green, cool. If it ends up red, cool. I just wanted to give you an insight into my day. I'm going to start managing this position a little bit more before I go to work, and then head on to stage 2 of the day, which is the actual day job. But it's the first day back after breaking the ankle, so we'll see what I could actually do. I'll keep you guys abreast on my situation. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you later. Peace out.